back, where there's a relatively new nonprofit in central Kentucky that's educating people about their very important work. Saved by Fate focuses on rescuing death row dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters. And they're actually hosting a few fundraisers to help raise awareness. Joining us today are the co-founders, Mara DeLoss and Sierra Hagedorn, and also one of the foster dogs, we have Zola that's here as well. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start off with sort of the nonprofit background. For folks who might not be aware of you guys, tell us when you started and sort of why.
We technically got our 501c3 in November. We started initial fundraising and started pulling in dogs in January of this year. And one of the big things, Mara and I had both been in rescue for a while, and we're seeing in the nearby counties, all of the shelters are overcrowded, overwhelmed, and having to euthanize dogs that are perfectly friendly and healthy, but they have no space. So that is what we specialize in. We try to get in there before they're euthanized, if they're at high risk, and pull them into foster care.
How's it been going so far?
Great. We probably average about 15 to 20 dogs at any given time, and we're staying small for now on purpose because we also help the community spay and neuter and vaccinate their dogs for free, so that's where some of our funding goes to.
Okay. When you say death row dogs and puppies are your focus, tell us more about that, and also kind of where you guys come in that process. Do they reach out to you? Do you kind of reach out to them? How does this all work?
We have a website, so people can go on there and apply to adopt or foster there. The shelters reach out to us. I do our intake. Last year we saw that they were having to euthanize puppies, like newborn puppies, because there's just no space. And so we try to seek out fosters. Once we have a placement, we try to pull the dogs that are at the highest risk. We do focus on bully breeds because that does seem to be the first ones to be put on that euthanized list. So that's our focus, and then also trying to bring back community efforts and helping people keep their dogs that may not be able to afford to fix them. Fixing their dogs is so important to stop this problem of overcrowding.
That's certainly one component of this. We team up with Woodford Humane Society, which does a really good job of trying to, adopt all these pets out. They kind of have this similar story, what you guys are seeing, with the overcrowding. What do you think is really the root cause besides just, not spaying and neutering?
Well, it started with like a bunch of COVID dogs adopted, and then people went back to work and started surrendering when they just didn't have as much time anymore. They weren't at home all the time. And then the economy, because we're hearing a lot, people having to move to a different place where they can't bring their dog because they can no longer afford rent or their mortgage, or they just can't afford the care in general.
Well, there's a couple of fundraisers that are coming up that's going to help you guys with funding and things. Tell us about the two fundraisers that we've got in June.
Sure. The first one is our tie-dye party at Mirror Twin Brewing Company, downtown Lexington. It starts at 3 p.m. until 6. We have enough shirts for adults and kids. You can come just tie-dye your own shirt. The front design is the first dog we ever pulled from the shelter. His name was Sweater Josh. And then on the back of the shirt is the 17 sponsors that we were able to get for the event. So local businesses and other organizations.
Very good. And how does the funding specifically help you guys?
It just allows us to continue pulling dogs and helping the community spay and neuter and vaccinate their dogs too. So it just keeps us going. And it's a fun event. We like to do fun, different types of crowd events, and this is a very family-friendly one too. So.
And are you guys still looking for volunteers or people to just get involved with your organization as a whole?
Always, yeah. Volunteering. I mean, this is a volunteer effort, and we have been really fortunate to have such great supporters and wonderful fosters that step up, but we could use more always there because of the current issue.
What's the best way to get a hold of you guys if they'd like to reach out?
Our website is savedbyfate.org, and you could just do /volunteer to that to sign up to volunteer, or /foster to sign up to foster, or /adopt to adopt. We make it really easy.
Well, thank you both for coming in to talk about the important work you're doing, and Zola for being such a good dog
She
this whole
is
time.
such a good girl. We're obsessed. She really is.
We'll be right back.